Bonnie, shalom, shalom. Good morning to you. All right, looks like the notification is going out. Rusty Smith, shalom. Myra Dillahunty, shalom, shalom. All right, reporting for duty. All right, appreciate the like, appreciate the thumbs up. And we are live. Yes. So welcome to the show. This is Brian Anthony. Shalom, Seb. Brian Anthony, Benya with Beyond Babbitt, reporting for duty. Brian Anthony, Benya with Beyond Babbitt, reporting for duty. Shalom, family. Just a video popped up from Chico and Debbie. I linked it down below. Basically, they just caught a news clip, maybe where they are. I believe it's in Baltimore, on a Southwest flight. It's in effect, guys. It's not a forced vax. It's forced drugs. Rodney McCrae, peace and love, brother. Shalom, shalom. So, I guess the people on the plane, or this particular passenger on the plane, had been to China, and they just they came up to the person and made him take some drugs. And the person said, "I'm not taking any drugs." Shalom, Michelle Aspinall. Hello, how you doing? All right, good to see you as well. Rusty Smith, Revelation Knowledge. All right, shalom, shalom. So, they went up to the guy and said, "Here, take this. Some pills, just some pills, random pills." And he's like, "No, I ain't taking no pills." They said, "You're going to take them or we're going to land this plane." And the guy went ahead and took the pills. Amazing Canadian. Shalom, shalom. I know that's right, Myra. They'd have to learn that darn plane. Anyway, in the description box down below, you will find the link to that video. And so that means, guys, this thing's been planned out. All the airlines probably have this contingency plan in place, and not just the airlines. I keep hearing different lawyers break down what's being said, and they're saying there's probably going to be checkpoints on the highways, and these are the things they can do. They can force you to take a shot, take some pills, or they can threaten to, okay, we're going to have to pull you out and quarantine you somewhere, take you to a FEMA camp. How convenient. So this is the big one, guys. So the U.S. stock market shot up. Boom. China stock market fell. Boom. But China froze their stock market, making it no one was able to cash in other words, but it still fell. Shalom, Ed Griffin. All right. Yeah, all right. So, guys, this is the big one. This is the big one. Because that's de facto martial law. That's what it is. When they can just force you to take a shot. You're on a plane. They come up to you and say, "Here, take these pills." They don't know if you have any allergies. They don't know your medical. Well, maybe they do. They can force you to take a shot, drink a potion, take some pills. It's sorcery. Who knows how this stuff is going to affect you? Wow. More dividers in the middle of the highway. Yeah, pretty soon they're going to be checkpoints, and they may put the thing to everybody's forehead. And it just reminds me of all the movies, man. Everybody's like, oh, everybody always says, "I'm not sick. I'm not sick." If they say you're sick, you're sick. They're going to grab you. Boom. Yep, you can't turn around. That's it. So they may have checkpoints at the grocery store, going in and out, different federal buildings. Restaurants, gas stations, just along the highway. Who knows? It's not just the big trucks are going to have to pull in now. Everybody got to pull in. Shoot, man. Who knows what else this may lead to. And then they be like, oh, well, you know what? Let me search your car. Where you coming from? Where you been? And all this other stuff. Oh, man, this is it, guys. And it's all in the name of keeping you safe. And what's so good about it, or what's so bad about it, they can pull this thing all over the world. Megan E., shalom, good morning to you. They can pull this same trick all over the world and act like, we're just keeping everybody safe. Wow. Go back and seal you in like they did in China, sealed in those people, and be like, yeah. If you wasn't sick, you're going to be sick now, because ain't nobody coming in, ain't nobody going out. And we'll check back in about a year or two and clean up the bodies. That's what's happening. They're not bringing you food. They don't care if you have it or not. They just, okay. Just go in here. Yeah, we'll take care of that. We'll look after you. Sorry, it's a death sentence. So this is the big one. And then, like that movie, I predicted they'd have the vaccine by 2025, and it'll probably be accompanied by the mark of the beast. With the chip, shoot it in your pop, cure everything. Wow. Or sooner. That's just their guess, 2025. But that does hide 3 6s, though. 2025. 9. Ah, boy. Yeah, they just forced the guy to take some pills, guys. Didn't tell him what it was. They said, here, you're going to take these, or we're going to land this plane. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to land this plane. Forget this, land it now. I would have been demanding it. Land it, let me off. But they probably would have had somebody pick them up as soon as they landed, wherever they landed at. And boop. Yeah, I think they picked them up anyway. So they was going to shoot them up. You're going to take them pills one way or another. And then even if you take them, you still going into custody. Regardless. Nikki A., shalom, good morning to you. Yep, so it doesn't matter if you take them pills or not, whether it's a shot or a potion, some kind of drink. It's pharmaceuticals. It's pharmakia. In the book of Revelation, that's called sorcery. Sorcery. That stuff can make you paranoid. It can do all type of things to you. Yeah, that's why they patent it. It's not like something you just pick and go boil it or something, go bake it and eat it or drink it or whatever, and boom, done. Nah, this is some magic. Yeah, you will be controlled. But, man, I went back through the I guess that's the Forbidden Books of Eden, the Testament of Joseph, and it makes it more clear now since I read some more stuff about Joseph in the sealed book of Moses, and then I went back over there looking for some stuff, and man, that guy really went through some stuff. Joseph, the one that went to Egypt, right? That his brother sold into slavery. He was solid, man. You know, and he was talking about how they was trying to get him to roll over because they say he wasn't dressed like a slave, but he said, yeah, I'm a slave. He wouldn't tell it. He wouldn't say, yeah, my brother sold me into slavery. You know, he wouldn't. He was solid. He took the whole rap to keep the family name strong. You know, yeah, Joseph was solid, man. And that's how Ephraim ended up ruling. Ephraim was ahead of all Israel. So it was Judah and Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Ephraim was ahead of the northern kingdom. And then Judah was the head of the southern kingdom. Yeah, man. But he gives more detail about what was happening with that woman. She was lusting after him so bad. And she even tried some witchcraft, man. He said she put some stuff in the food. She put some stuff in the food, and he knew it. He didn't eat it. She tried it several times, and one time she did it, and he let the food sit there, and she was putting witchcraft in the food, if you know what I meant. Yeah. So, and she was like, "Why didn't you eat my food?" And he told her. He told her, "Because you put witchcraft in it." And he said, "But to let you know something about that, kind of like the statement that Paul made, you know, in the New Testament. Paul, he said, if you drink, he said, even if you drink poison, I believe that was Paul. Yeah, he said it won't hurt you. You can, a man of Yah full of faith can drink poison and it won't hurt you." And so he said in front of that woman, he said, "Now watch me eat this food." He ate it in front of him, and she felt like dirt because it didn't. The power of Yah was over him. It didn't. The food didn't have the effect that she thought it was gonna have. Yeah, but she kept trying. She was slick, man. She was full of the devil, trying to get him. So in front of her husband, she would praise him and be like, "Oh, it's chastity. Oh yeah." But then, and you know, she did that all the time. He'll never touch a woman, stuff like that. And that was because she secretly wanted him. So behind the scenes, you know, she was trying to get him. She was making him all kind of offers, offered him to be king and all kind of stuff. And she say, even if we did it, and somebody caught us or something, he not gonna believe it, cause you know we talk so good about you all the time. I don't know about that, Michael Bennett. Shalom, brother, shalom. Yeah, so she was a slick one with that mouth, and also with other trying to create circumstances. She was full of the devil, you know, crafty like a serpent. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that man. So that's just to say, man, even if they force you to take it, we got to be full of faith. We got to be full of faith. We got to be full of faith. That's all I can say. We have to use a new age word, would be a higher consciousness. We have to operate this kingdom with a higher consciousness. But a consciousness is just being aware. It's just being aware. You have to operate it with holiness, with righteousness, you know, and with love. That's the power behind it. But the knowledge of it, knowing what you can do, and then if you have fear, you can't operate in the kingdom. You can't operate the kingdom. It's just having the faith. Faith is not, and there's a new definition for faith, guys. Let me find it for y'all. New definition for faith. I know we all know the definition for faith in the book of Hebrews, right? Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay? And over here in the sealed book of Moses, and I'm gonna have to, man, I didn't know I was gonna be talking about it. So I had to find it. But there's a new definition of faith. And I believe, was it in chapter 3? Chapter 4. But yeah, we have to learn to operate in the kingdom. His son, Yahshua, he came to be an example, to show us how to do it. That's what it was. He taught his disciples, his apostles, and he showed us, if we believe, this is how we're supposed to operate. But we done got caught up, and the power has been stripped. But we can get it back. We have to get it back. Otherwise, we're dead meat. Otherwise, we're dead meat. Let me find this right quick, guys. Hold on. I think I wrote it in. Man, I sure hate that thing. It's not this far up, I don't think. Let's see, around chapter 4. this over here. So we're going to see. This faith, then you have in yourself the keys to open and close all situations. Oh man, that's not the one I'm looking for. Woo, this say, man, this is I'm telling you, this is the stuff that Dorsey was teaching back then. Christ in you, the hope of glory. You first have to understand it. You first have to believe it, and then you have to understand it. And it helps when other people, live righteously, live holy, have testimony. And you got people crazy, like crazy faith, crazy enough to try stuff, because it's one thing to say I'm gonna trust God, I'm gonna believe God, and just sit there. And there's another thing to say I'm gonna trust God and believe God, and then you go over there and lay hands and do something. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, some people, that first part, they rather let, just sit there and wait. Yeah. But sometimes he tell you, you got to do something too. You got to apply. You got to apply the faith. Just knowing about it, you're going to sit and wait. And maybe it's in chapter 3. Maybe in chapter 3. Yeah, I come to find out there was a lot of sixes in that thing. 666 all over there. It's a few videos I was looking at because I saw it and I just noticed the colors. And I'm like, what are they trying to say with the colors? And even a lot of the commercials had the same colors. So I'm like, yeah, something ain't right. But it was Ode to Satan. Yep, that was his number all over that thing. And I know, I'm going to find this definition in a minute. Because I know that I probably had wrote in the margin and I had highlighted it. Yeah, but there's so much in this thing, guys. Yeah. Wow, man, where is this? Y'all got to get these books, guys. Y'all got to get these books. Hold on, let me see. Oh, and I noticed that somebody was saying which book to get first. I don't know which book to get first, but because you want to get them all. I mean, start with where you pray about it, but move quickly. Because once they see people getting them, they're going to try to raise the price. And right now, they're at pretty good prices. Here it is. Here it is, guys. What chapter is this? Okay. I think this is 4. These chapters are long, man. And it doesn't... It's good, man. Good information. That's all I can say. Good information. So, chapter 3. It's in chapter 3. He's talking about this high priesthood, man. Yeah. Chapter 3, 70, the seal book of Moses. And it says, "And what is faith? Behold, faith is the sum of all the feelings of the trust that are in your hearts, which nullify the feelings of fear and doubt as to my performance among those who are my elect." Let me read that again. Because let me read verse 69. Because this is Moses speaking, and he was, I believe it was him and Yah, he was getting this information, so let's see. "It was then that I led you to this narrow strip of land between the mountains and the sea, because I, the Lord, do not work with the children of men except according to their faith. And what is faith? Behold, faith is the sum of all the feelings of trust that are in your hearts, which nullify the feelings of fear and doubt as to my performance among those who are my elect. It was then that I, the Lord, told him, because Moses, you persist to cry out to me when there is, he said, this is what God told Moses, because Moses kept crying out to God. He said, because Moses, you persist to cry out to me when there is in you the full strength of my priesthood resting in your feelings. Woo, that's Christ in you, the holy Christ in you, the hope of glory. That's in the Romans. Oh, is it Romans? Sometimes I be getting the scriptures mixed up. I got to go look it up, but I know exactly what it says. It's just that sometimes the location, you know what I'm saying, but it's just a flaw that I have. I'll get it right when I bring that one, because I didn't know I was even going to bring this. I'll find it. You believe it, I'll find it. It's in there. Christ in you, the hope of glory. And when he was talking about the kingdom, he said, the kingdom of God is near unto you, even in your mouth. The kingdom of God is within you, guys. The kingdom of God is within you, guys. But we just have to know how. Once we realize it, once we realize how big the Father is, that nothing is impossible to him. And that's in you. That's in me. But see, he only deal with you according to your faith. You know what I'm saying? You know how he tests your faith? According to his word. If you live in according to that word. That's right, Myra. It's in there. You gotta keep his commandments. You gotta live righteously. You gotta do the stuff that he say do. See, somewhere along the line, they done scared us into worshiping on Sundays. You know, going to their Sunday church. That's not the same church. Matter of fact, let me find the church that's in the wilderness. Is that in Acts 7? See, I didn't know I was going to be talking about all this stuff. You know, and then the Bible talks about they were baptized unto Moses. Yeah, this is all in the 66 books. And when Peter, when he said, upon this rock I build my church, it's not really, that word when you go to the original language, it's not build like it's starting from scratch. It's expand. You see, the church that was in the wilderness. Let's go to Acts. But I didn't even, oh man, I wasn't even planning on bringing this. I wasn't even talking about this, but it is what it is. Okay, it said. Is it Acts or is it Hebrews? Oh, it might be Acts. Let me see. Man, I'm gonna look for it because I think it's over here. But Moses, we're talking about Moses. We getting closer. Here it is. Acts 7. You know what? I'm going to start at verse 35. This Moses, whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge? The same did God send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. He brought them out after he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years. It said he brought them out. I got to tell y'all guys, there are going to be some last day prophets that are going to do these things to help gather the children of Israel, to gather the church that was lost. You just want to make sure you're in that number. So, okay, verse 36, this is Acts 7, chapter 7, verse 36. He brought them out. After that, he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise. I didn't want to say God, but I did. Raise up unto you. I want to say Yah. I want to use the name that's there, but okay. Raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness. Okay. And I believe this is Peter talking at this point in Acts, saying that was the church in the wilderness. Saying it's not starting with him. Interesting, isn't it? Let me see, is this Peter that's talking? When I bring it, we'll get it, guys. But there's also, it talks about they were baptized unto Moses. They were baptized unto Moses twice. They were baptized unto him under the cloud on the mountain, right? And that's also like a wedding. The wedding. Man, it's a clip that when I first learned that the New Testament was also written in Hebrew, it was Reggie White, guys, the ex-football player, Reggie White, who brought that out and made me search that out. When he was a preacher all the time, he was playing football. And when he retired, he went Hebrew. And he was the first one that brought that information to my attention, that the New Testament, the whole Old and New Testament were written in Hebrew. And I was like, wow. And there's some videos on YouTube that have him talking about that if they haven't been removed. But so that's what helped me start searching that out. And why did I bring that out? Why did I bring that out? But anyway, so the church that was in the wilderness, the church started Moses. Moses got the oracles of God. The priesthood of Aaron started. And this is also, this is why I like also the sealed book of Moses, man. It gives more detail about this. The stuff is in the Bible, spread out. But here it's clear and short. So it's the priesthood of Aaron. So that's where we got the law. So actually the law of faith, which I had already discovered, the law of faith existed before the law of Moses. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that we had talked about. And I'm thinking about, I'm just rambling, but I'm thinking about going and on my channel, because I'll be telling people to go back and look at this video and that video. And I got a lot of videos, man. It's getting close to 400, if not over that. And some of those, since the channel has changed, I'm probably going to, the videos that don't pertain to what I'm doing now, probably coming down to make it easier to find stuff, to find the meat instead of having to search through all that other stuff. So, Lord willing, I'll start working on that this week. Yeah. So, so the church actually started, guys, in the wilderness. So Reggie White brought out that that's a type of Hebrew wedding on the mountain, and also when Yahshua comes after the tribulation, when he comes and gathers us up in the cloud, that's another type of wedding. So yeah, he filled me in on that, man. I was like, oh man, that's beautiful. So that's really what happened with Moses on the mountain. It was so the children were baptized under Moses at that time, and then they were baptized again, coming through the water on dry land, leaving Egypt. Yeah, they were baptized unto Moses. It says that it's in the Old Testament and the New Testament, I believe. But this is stuff they don't bring out in the 501c3s because they tell you that it didn't start to John the Baptist and then Peter. No. If you look at that original word, go back to their language. Upon this rock I build my church. Is expand the church. Yeah, and that's what Peter was supposed to do. And so there is a controversy between Peter and Paul because Paul proclaims to be the apostle to the Gentiles. And then at the same time, Peter proclaims to be the apostle to the Gentiles. Well, Peter actually was the apostle to both, but he said by his mouth he would go to the Gentiles. And then they got into it because Paul. We only hear Paul's side of the story. We never hear Peter's side. But Paul had accused Peter of living like a Gentile when ain't no Jews around, and then when the Jews around, he want to live like them. So, yeah, that's what he accused him of. We don't know. We didn't get anyone's, no one else's perspective on that, except Paul's. So, and Paul said Peter was wrong. I wish there were more accounts of that so we can let someone else be the judge. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Right? But anyway, guys, that's what I want to. That was just really a preview because that was on my mind. And then, like I said, that video popped up. And it just, I saw foreshadowing. I'm like, man, this is it. If they can force you to just take drugs on an airplane. And then, like I said, I had been watching other lawyers break it down to where there most likely are going to be checkpoints. And this is going to be worldwide. This is it, guys. They're going to try to bring it in. We got to get out of this kingdom. We got to separate. Yeah. So, and in order to operate in this kingdom, it's going to take righteousness. Israel has to have righteousness too. Yeah. Holiness has to be in Israel. You know, it's okay. So you have a coveted people, right? Blood covenant people, right? You can call them a tribe or a race of people, right? Yeah, but you have a spirit covenant as well. Righteousness has to be in Israel. So we're going to be operating in the law of spirit, the law of faith, you know. And then there will be a law as well. Everything is not spiritualized. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything has to be a code because everything has to be done in decency and in order. You see what I'm saying? Where there is no law, there is no sin. Yeah. So we're doing this thing, guys. It's not all spiritualized. There's a physical coming out. There is a spiritual coming out. There is a code. This is a lifestyle. It's not something you go and feel good on the wrong day and go to the 501c3 on the wrong day and feel good that you gave some money and go back to doing whatever you want to do because once saved, always saved. This is not that. Anyway, guys, with that said, I'm going to get into some stuff that I'm going to bring to you in a little bit. But peace and blessings. Yah bless you all. Your host, Brian Anthony Ben Yah with Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Brian Anthony Ben Yah with Beyond Babbitt, Over and out. Love y'all. Peace.